Welcome to Are You There
Are
Yet?
you there
Are
yet?
you there yet?
Are you there yet? Am I here? I don't know. Are you here
I'm
yet?
here. Well, I haven't arrived fully yet. I like to think I am, but
I'm in the
you know,
process. I'm in the process for sure.
you're probably farther than most.
Fingers crossed. Some days I'm the bug, some days I'm the windshield, people. That is a true story.
Well, you have arrived to Are You There Yet? And I'm Anna,
And I'm Carmen.
and we're happy you're here.
Yes. Thank you for joining us again.
Yes, today we have a big episode if you are a Gen X woman, and even if you're not going to be one someday. I mean, a 50-year-old middle-aged.
Middle
Oh,
aged.
I hate that word. Do we have to say that word?
Yeah. Is there another word for it? Is it semi-matured? I still feel like I'm 26 in my head, though. But physically,
Well,
chronologically,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we don't look like we're 52. I don't know. Do we, people? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to have woman talk today. So guys, don't just click off or turn. This is information because you know what? You're going to have a mom who goes through this. You're going to have a partner that goes through this. It's going to be relevant information to you, and we promise not to get too gross about it.
yeah. I mean, and you have the very least sisters, cousins, aunties, all that are having had already or going to go through this. It's a lot. It's a lot. Did not know how much it was going to be, but it's a lot. And this will help you guys too, fellas, to understand like it's not you. Like it might be you a little bit. Just kidding.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah. But there are two times in a woman's life where her brain is literally rewired. One is when she has a baby. The second is when she goes through menopause. And we're here to talk about it.
That's right. So, Carmen, I have a question for you.
What?
What did you think menopause was before you actually experienced it?
I would say when I was, first of all, this is a freaking fantastic question. It's making me think. And I have like a couple of answers to it because when I was younger, it was something far away in an imaginary world that I didn't live in, literally. It's just something that you hear about.
Well, and nobody talked about it either.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, occasionally you would hear something about hot flashes. And I'm trying to think what else, maybe like headaches.
Yeah,
That's
headaches. That is it.
And there's just so much more to it than that. And then I would say as I moved on and got into like my late 20s, early 30s, I was like, oh yeah, menopause. So I'm not going to have a period anymore. Score. That's going to be great. I'm going to be so glad I don't have to hemorrhage every month and feel like gross and like I'm peeing my pants half the time, or shit, did I bleed through that? Do I have a tampon? I mean, and a million other things, not to mention just how painful it is. And, and then how tired you get. And I'm thinking, gosh, that sounds great. I won't have to deal with this. Solid. Sign me up. And then my late 30s arrived. And I was like, oh, that's probably going to be around the corner, I guess. When does that happen? And even when I got into my 40s, I was like, yeah, I'm like, is it ever going to get here? And then I think I heard somebody say, oh yeah, it like takes 10 years. And I was like, what are you talking about? And this is my early 40s. And I didn't know at the time, but I was perimenopausal at that time. I think I was like 42 or 3 when I started.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I started getting my period twice a month. And I was like, what the ever living fuck are you talking about? It's like, I did not sign up for that. And then I had a holistic healthcare provider at the time, and she put me on progesterone. And so I took 5 drops of progesterone, liquid progesterone, under my tongue every night before I went to bed. And that cleared it right up. Just
good.
It was, yeah. And I didn't realize, because like the sooner you, for a lot of women, I won't say every woman, but for a lot of them, the sooner you get on HRT, the better. And for those of you who don't know what that is, that's hormone replacement therapy. And anyway, and we can get into the specs on that in a little while, but that I started doing that, and that kind of ironed things out. And then I'm just kind of bebopping along. And then it was my late 40s where I was like, I haven't had any hot flashes. I'm just fine. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I'm acing this. And menopause is like, oh dear.
Silly girl.
Hold my glass of wine and my martini, because I'm double fisting it, because you'll want to. And then I started noticing, like, I started getting ringing in my ears.
Really?
Yeah. Tinnitus or tinnitus or whatever it is. That is from perimenopause. And then I noticed I would just get up. I went to the chiropractor once, and there was something wrong with my my metatarsals, and just where like your toes meet your foot, and you flex. And what was it? I'm looking at them going. It was 3 and 4. My digits that were just really sore. And he goes, "What did you do?" I go, "I don't know. I woke up." And I was like, what the hell is going on? And it was months to rehabilitate that part of my foot. And shit. No shit. I mean, but it affects the drop in estrogen will affect your tendons. It's not just for being caring and loving. It's for your ligaments, your tendons, elasticity in your body. Estrogen matters, folks. It really does.
It does.
And then like literally, I'm itchy. Every millimeter of my body is itchy all the time. I could just itch constantly. I think I've just become accustomed to it, and especially your ears.
Oh, I was hoping that you were going to say that, because my ears itch all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And I'll be like digging in them, and he'd be like, "Oh, don't you just need to clean them?" I'm like, fucker.
That's not it.
No, that isn't it. And then it's like kind of like crusty sometimes. And I'm like, okay, then is it draining? Is it like just dry? Like, nobody told me about itchy ears. And do you know, this is kind of off topic for a second, because I want to get into this later about the how some women were committed to insane asylums.
Oh, yeah.
And if you look at some of the, like in the old historical type things of these places, it will say like women problems, or, hysteria, And yeah, they were probably itching their ears, and they're probably like, And
then they're sitting there looking at the men going, "Shut the fuck up before I kill you."
Yeah.
Because you literally have no patience anymore. I mean, like somebody could, and I'm not like, it's not like this every second, but literally like you're breathing wrong. It's so loud. Your senses are heightened in sometimes a good, but a lot of times not so good way. And you literally just want to punch people in the dick and the throat all the time. Like they talk about perimenopausal rage. That's a real thing. I kind of want to say too, like, couldn't it possibly be the fact that like women are just pent up aggression and irritation from being subjugated their entire lives? Because I feel like, and then when the estrogen drops, and you're left with your, what little testosterone, because that drops too, but you're left with more testosterone than anything. And you're just kind of like, does that mean I'm a dude now? And I just don't give a flying fuck. And I'm going to tell you about it. And you can go suck an egg because I'm not making you dinner, and get that dick away from me, because gross. Because that's how you feel. Yeah.
Get the D away. No D.
Put the D away.
I mean,
no vitamin D for me. No.
But, seriously, man, that is the last thing that you even want to think about.
Yeah.
And it is true, because you're like, oh, wow, is this what it feels like to not give a flying fuck? Is this what it means to be like a dude? Like, step the fuck off, man. You know, it is.
I know.
And, we were told in our gym class, health class, how babies, the fertilized egg, all that kind of stuff. We were told how not to get pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
Who said anything about menopause? Who told us what happens when your sexual reproductions start to shut down?
Yeah. No.
Who said that?
Nothing.
No.
Because they don't care about that. We want to keep this hush hush. And nobody talks about, like any woman who's had a kid, your body goes through this metamorphosis, and your body, unless you've got money to rehabilitate it and get it back to what it looked like before, you're essentially a different body.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hit menopause, and your body is you're going through this second rewiring, and you start gaining this weight, and you're like, nothing.
The weight.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's probably one of the biggest things. Like, I am, and you know this about me, I am active AF. I do some pretty intensive backpacking and hiking, and I like to lift weights. Give me a good leg day. It's my favorite day. Love me a leg day. And, but I'm thinking, why can I work out, for 8 to 12 hours on like a 20, 30 mile hike with 5,000 feet elevation gain? And if I eat, like, it just doesn't matter. I'm still going to be chubby, because you're just chubby. You've got this belly that will not leave. And like, why are you looking at it going, why are you there?
It's so
Go
confusing.
away.
Because, like, when I was in my 20s, I got a little pooch, let's do some crunches. Oh, it's gone. And then you hit menopause and middle age, and you can do whatever you want. The only way that motherfucker, I guess we're going to swear a lot this episode, the only way that thing is going away is medically.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if you do, like, I've had 4 kids. And my last one was an emergency C-section, and they cut me up and down, not this way. And so you do lose weight, and then you have all this extra skin. Oh, that's sexy. And I think, we had a conversation about, after all of this stuff happens to women's bodies, we're supposed to just embrace it. We've gone through menopause. We've gone through all this hot flashes, itchy ears, all of this frustrating stuff. And then our bodies they don't look like they used to. And I get that every stage, is different, and there's a season and everything. But if I want my body to look like it was before I had 4 kids and was cut and my muscle is not grown back, all of that, I think that there should be a fund for that.
I agree. for everything that women, it's like a lot of the ass hats with bros with microphones like to say, what do you bring to the table? Bitch, I bring the table and everything on it. What do you bring? No. Men bring things to the table. They do. Let's just acknowledge that.
Yeah.
But like, there should be some sort of support for women who are literally using every iota of themselves, because we have to.
Yep.
I mean, there's just, I don't know other way to say it. Like, we have to. It's just part and parcel of the female gig. Like, when you decided to be a woman in whatever, like pre-life, you're like, look at which life do I want? Yeah, I'll take her.
I'll take planet Earth and a woman. That sounds really good. And they're like,
are you sure? But I will say this: all the chaos and the complexity of being a woman aside, I would not want to be a man. I'm so glad that I chose to be a woman. I will say that. But realistically, like it's every iota of who you are to get through all of this, and most of us at the end of the day, like, I just want to feel good about myself. I mean, in my skin. I don't want to feel like I'm forgetting things or forgetting my brain, because a lot of times that's a part of, we haven't even talked about that, perimenopause and menopause, is how much brain fog you get. Your recall is bad.
Well, I pulled up a little statistic here, or not good. Statistics, but it says, in case some, because some people really don't know, like we didn't know. So what estrogen actually does, it helps with brain and cognition, sleep, temperature regulation, bones, cardiovascular system, vaginal and urinary issues in the tissues, sexual function, skin, and connective tissue, which we kind of touched on some of that, but I mean, it is a lot.
And
we
haven't even tapped into progesterone or testosterone either. We still have, it's the trifecta. And so, and then we're not even talking about, like, we haven't even gotten to like muscle loss and loss of strength, because it's Dr. Mary Claire. I'm pretty sure any woman who is in perimenopause has probably heard her name, and if you haven't, please look her up. She's amazing.
Say your name again.
Dr. Mary Claire. I can't remember her last name, but she's a board certified OBGYN. Anyway, she has a lot of free information for all of us people in menopause, perimenopause. But she listed all of the symptoms of menopause, perimenopause. And I was just like, WTF. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Things you would never, ever even associate with it. And, so I was listening to her, and she was talking about when she was in her residency, and like she got this lady, and the doctor that was teaching her, he goes, "Oh, she's a WW," and Dr. Mary Claire is like, "What's that?" She's like, "A whining woman," and that's the medical profession for you. Let's automatically discount her, and. Yep. Well, she's a middle-aged woman going through menopause, and she's got a laundry list of things that sounds like she's whining. But, like, she wasn't whining. These were her symptoms. This is what she was experiencing.
Or you are depressed.
Oh, yeah. Depression, anxiety, because that's, oh my gosh.
I mean, and those are the anxiety because you're not sleeping and everything. But when you go to the doctor, then they just they want to put you on an antidepressant because you're depressed.
Yeah.
And I will say I had an ablation, and for people that don't know what that is, my periods were very terrible. I mean, terrible. I lost so much blood that I was like anemic and faint and everything. And so after this was after I had my children done by age 30. So I could enjoy later life. I had an ablation, and basically they just put really, really hot water in a balloon and pop it in your uterus, and it singes it. So I didn't have a period for, that was like 2011. And I never had a period after that. So I didn't experience like the double periods or, that type of thing when I was going through perimenopause. At the same time that I was probably experiencing perimenopause, but then in around that same time is also when I didn't know it at the time. I got bit by that tick and got Lyme disease.
Oh, yeah.
So that also is cardiovascular. It's one of the first manifestations of it. So I was like going to the doctor for my heart. I was wearing all these monitors and it was just a plethora of things. And when I was at Mayo, they wanted to put me on HRT because it was really around that time. That's when it kind of started. But then I was also listening to my breast specialist who was like, never go on estrogen,
Yeah.
And so you are already, you talk about the whining woman, you're going through all of these things and then it's all confusing too. And because you don't remember things, you have brain fog and you have anxiety and you feel like nobody is listening to you. And sometimes they're not. Or there was neurologists when they were trying to figure out, they're like, she's depressed, and seriously, I shared on here that I struggled with the eating disorder back in my, college and my early 30s. And, shit like that stays on your medical history. And when it is convenient for them, when they don't know what's wrong with you and they're not listening to you, they just fall back on that. They fall back on old shit.
Yeah,
and it makes me so mad. And I really think that they do that a lot with women because we the whining woman. And it's like, it's just so frustrating. And I am encouraged right now that we're talking about this, that there is an awareness about it, and that, one thing Gen X women are doing is we are bringing it to the fucking table.
That's right. And HRT is not for everyone, but like what your breast doctor was saying, don't take estrogen. Guess what? They did come out a couple of years ago and apologize to all the women that they for years were saying, don't do HRT. It'll kill you. And I remember hearing that and like,
I do too.
I don't want to do that. And then they came out and they apologized because we're like, yeah, we led you guys astray and we didn't listen to you. And it's actually much safer than we let you think. So you can do HRT. Go ahead. This will be so good for you guys. And it's just like, it's infuriating because like I said, it's not for everybody, but it is for a lot of us.
Well, it is a lot of us because you know what I'm going through right now. And because I'm on estradiol patch, testosterone and progesterone. The awareness and people on this right now has increased so much that I can't get my little patch. My doctor said, and both my Lyme disease doctor and my regular doctor said that there will be a shortage of those patches, estradiol patches, until 2027.
Wow.
So there's other things that you can use. I am using a topical, like I do that with my testosterone. So I'm going to try that. And the patch is so handy. But you know what? They would never run out of if this was a men's world, which it is.
It is.
They would never run out of what?
Viagra.
Fucking Viagra.
Right. Because heaven forbid the dick not rise. And
that's another shirt. Heaven forbid the dick not rise. Arise, oh dick, and do magnificent things.
Oh my God. Seriously. It's just kind of like, why can't everybody be prioritized? Everyone's health. Like,
thank you.
Literally have men, you have women. Like, it's not that hard to be inclusive. It's just
It's not,
that
but
hard.
it is threatening
It
to
is.
some.
It's threatening
I
to,
will,
yes, to
I
the
would
old
love
school.
to, exactly. It is threatening to the old white patriarchies, and
Yep.
we will do a spicy episode on that.
We do have so much to say on that. It's probably
Ooh.
not going to be pretty, and we don't want it to be.
No, we want it to be honest and the fucking truth, because I think it's important to say, and I think it's important to bring truth, and you can bring truth to it without throwing guys under the bus.
Yeah, because it's not good for men either.
No.
It's not good for anybody.
Yep. So, why do you think our mothers were silent about this? Do you have any thought on that? Like, just because they didn't talk about it? Like,
I've actually asked my mom about her experience with menopause, and I remember her sweating profusely, and I remember going to her house, and it, like, being the middle of summer, and her air conditioning is so cold that I would have to literally wear my flannel pajamas, and I would have a runny nose because it would be so cold in there. It was just, so I'm like, you're running hot, Mom. Pretty sure this has to do with menopause. But at the time, like, I was in my 30s, my early 30s. So, like, my mind wasn't tracking that. But when I did sit down with her a couple years ago, and my mom's 82 now, and asked her, was like, hey, like, what was your experience with menopause? Oh, I really didn't have any symptoms. It was fine. And I know. And then I actually asked my older sister. My oldest sister is 10 years older than me. And I asked her, what was your experience with menopause? And she said the same thing. And I'm like, the two of you are, number one, fucking lying. I didn't say this to them, but I'm thinking.
yeah.
And my thought is that it probably was really hard to come to terms with that. I don't know. I can't speak for every woman. I don't feel like this, but I'm guessing that there's like some shame to it. There's I'm no longer a woman because I'm not having my period. My body's not working right. So I'm feeling clanky and clunky and whatever else, and I'm burning up. And I'm just trying to get through it. And, like you're just kind of tapped out, and you just don't have time or energy for it. But, so I can't really say outside of what, like, the impression that I got from my mom. But it was like, we're just not going to talk about it. We won't even acknowledge it. And all I can tell you is I remember this woman sweating her ass off all the time. And I remember going, oh, you were going through menopause.
Yeah. Well, I think that the tendency to kind of normalize women's suffering, it has, I'm sorry, that's been jammed down our throats. And I think it's really cool. My daughter, my youngest daughter, is really into, well, not really into, but have you seen those simulations that guys can wear? And it,
yes. I'm here for that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it lets them experience period pain, menstrual cramping, and then childbirth.
Oh, I didn't see the childbirth one.
And the intensity of the cramps, that type of thing.
Intense.
Yeah. And so I think that our mom's generation, because if you here's a perspective. My mom, when she had the talk with me, she brought in the pad, everything, and showed me. But the thing that she explained to me that I was like, okay, what the fuck? The garter belts. The garter, the garment,
like belted,
belted,
like beltless pads. I remember those commercials.
Yes,
beltless pads.
And so it's like, Mom grew up in a time where she had to wear a little belt that had her, held her thing, and with that type of embarrassment, I mean, that's fucking embarrassing to have to do that. I mean, we've come a long way, kind of, I guess, with that type of help and whatever. But so, maybe that was part of the reason that it was kind of shame. It was,
You're losing your womanhood.
The suffering part of it, you just deal with it. You just shut up and you deal with it. But I think that's been women's kind of plight ever since the beginning of time. It's just like we have always done what we need to do as far as childbirth, having our periods, that type of thing. And I think that if every man could experience that type of physical pain, I think that women's health would have been prioritized a long time ago.
Yeah. We wouldn't have been referred to as whining women or hysterical, because you had talked about women being committed to insane asylums.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be committed to an insane asylum back in the day just for talking. You're speaking your mind.
That's true. Or have a lobotomy.
Yeah, I mean, that happened. There are so many women out there that really paid the price. And I feel like, we owe it to every woman who ever came before us to utilize our privilege in being able to speak and to never let our voices fall silent again. And I mean, I know this is...
I love that.
Yeah. Sorry, my nose is really itchy all of a sudden. I've been listening to, there's this, what is it, in North Carolina or South Carolina? Like, they're trying to pass this bill that essentially is saying that birth control is murder.
Yeah, in that same bill, they're also saying that if a woman has a miscarriage, that she can be found liable of murder.
Yeah.
I mean, this is some bullshit. I mean, this goes way beyond.
It does. And so what I'm getting at is, like, we owe it to every woman in the history of life on this planet, for every single woman, and men too. Like, we all deserve to live in freedom.
Right on, man.
Right on, man. Peace out.
I love it.
We all deserve to live in freedom. We all deserve to live in being included and to be cared about and to not be ruled over, because, like, most people are good at self-governing.
Yes.
And like a miscarriage is what's is referred to as a spontaneous abortion, which says that if your body, which, by the way, in the first trimester, it's literally like 85% the man's sperms fall. Like, go check the science, people, because it's there. And so you want to punish. So it's like you want to punish women for having miscarriages because the embryo was not a viable life. It wouldn't have been a viable life. This is why it was dispelled.
Nature did what nature does. That's
right.
what our bodies
right.
were made to do.
Yeah. And like, oh, this is not gonna, this child, or if this grew to a child, this would not survive outside of the womb. Therefore, this has to go. We only want healthy, because we do. Everybody wants healthy. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
It's not taboo. It's completely acceptable. And, so we just owe it to every woman, man, child, living entity, every living being on the planet to just be like, no, we cannot ever stop talking about it. We can't ever stop standing up for it. Everybody's health matters. And there's a reason why women go through menopause, because we still have more to provide to our families, to society, to the world.
I wanted to kind of touch on the workplace because, it's the same as we kind of joked at the first episode or so that, our gym, if we're having our periods, having a excuse for gym and that type of thing, and being laughed at or being dismissed. And I also think that type of thing carries over into the workplace, because when you are in that much pain, your brain is just not working, you're not getting any sleep. This is something that shouldn't be looked at negatively. It should be something that is looked at, how can we help? This person is a great worker. They are an asset to our company. They're going through something. I mean, you don't want to say that this is, I'm not trying to compare this to cancer or, that type of thing, but this is a major shift in someone's body, in so I don't think that, and I can't say all, but most workplaces don't take this type of transition into account.
No, they don't. They're like, nope, I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it. Just go deal with it. What's wrong with you? Or, you've seen the line, like, what's wrong with you? Is it your period? Is that a time of the month? Like, and women, I remember hearing that as a kid. I'm like, why are people so mad about that? But because it's such a dig on us. Like, oh, you're being too emotional, or you can't make healthy decisions because you're on your period. You can't think straight. It's just like, bitch, please, if you were hemorrhaging as much blood, and I don't think that men are really realize how much blood you lose. Like, I remember this massage therapist, her husband would say, I am not going to argue or even attempt to try a living animal, he called us animals, that will bleed for 5 to 7 days and not die.
Right?
Yeah, because it's not just
magnificent.
We are magnificent. It's not like it's a cap full of blood and then you're done. Like, it's a river. And all the cramping, everything, and you're still able to function, and because you have to function, you don't get to stop. But the workplace are like, I don't want to hear about it. I want to know about it. It's like, no, you need to hear about it. I got to go change my tampon. I'll be right back.
I don't understand how normal bodily issues became such a taboo subject. Really, I don't, because I think it's just really fucking dumb.
It is.
And if you're not mature enough to deal with it or hear about it, then shame on you. Go evolve. Seriously. It's just like, are you there yet, dude or ma'am or whoever you are? If you're having an issue with it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like, what are we in, like, 3rd, 4th grade? Right. I mean, middle school, come on now. It's like, we are magnificent creatures. And the fact that we can hold life, like when I'm doing my self Reiki and I get my energy going, and I always just, my root and my sacral chakra, I always just stop there, and I'm just like, I thank my sacral chakra, and I'm just like, you give life. Like, it's amazing. And just because I lean a certain way and I'm very pro women's health and feel that women have a choice, that doesn't take away or anything from the beauty and the magnificence of the ability that our bodies can create life.
Yeah.
We get so hung up on the next thing.
Yeah. We are literally, I mean, I've heard a lot of controversial things said about this. Like, oh, women are just the carriers. They're just the carriers. You need the sperm to make life. And it's like, no, bro, you need us. hold the mitochondrial DNA, which is absolutely required for life.
And if we evolve long enough, we'll just be like fucking frogs and they can just reproduce, but they don't need no male.
We're already doing that.
Amphibians.
We're already doing that. We're already doing it. That they're doing that in the lab with female mice. I mean, in order to have a male offspring, you do have to introduce sperm, but you take 2 eggs and put them together. You just have another female, which I'm like, cool, great, be more peaceful anyway. And I like at the end of the day, we, like you said, we are a powerhouse. Our uteruses are magnificent. Our ovaries, our vagina, everything that is able to create. And I remember being like, finding out about, hitting puberty and your period, and it terrified me. It was honestly, it was low-key traumatic. It was like a PTSD experience for me as a kid. It came at such a
Really?
shock. Yeah, because my first of all, if we wouldn't want my mom to take you aside and tell you about that, but I learned about it at school, and I know, like your mom is like, honey, this is what's going to happen. I mean, and I know your mom.
She was so nice. I mean, she just, she was a teacher, so you know.
My mom was more like, yeah, this is what's going to happen. Slap. You'll be fine. And I'm like, what? No, she didn't. We never even talked about it. We never talked about it. I learned about it at school and I was mortified. It was very traumatic to find that out. And then I didn't want to talk to anybody about it. I was just like so scared of it. And it took me a while. I don't even remember how I acclimated to it, but eventually I did. But like, having any of those conversations with my mom, I remember trying to ask her when I could get a bra. And that was a horrible question to ask in front of her, to her. It ended up being very embarrassing.
I was just going to ask if that's what it was.
Yeah, I think I knew because, we had the talk at school about, hitting puberty, getting your period, and contraceptives and stuff like that. And then that was it. And then I was like, my friends were getting bras to wear, even if they had no boobs. And I was like, well, I want to get a bra. And then I was sitting there going, means I'm going to have to ask my mom. Because everybody in my family, my sisters, they all had big boobs. My mom has big boobs. And I was just like, so it's not like I could steal like little ones from them. and so I remember asking my mom once, and I think one of my sisters was there, and she just laughed about it. She's like, you can have a bra when you got something to put in it. Ha ha ha. And I was like, and I was just mortified. I was like, okay, I literally want to just crawl into a hole.
Yeah.
So and depending on what kind of environment you grow up in, sometimes you can have conversations about that. Sometimes you can't. And like we never talked about sex. We never talked about contraceptives. We never talked about anything because why would you be informed about it? And it just kind of is like the norm. Like you just don't talk about these things. And then why would you talk about menopause when it's time for that? Because we just don't talk about these things. Like I would love to ask my aunt, my mom's younger sister. I would love to ask her about it, but I'm afraid I might mortify her too because she doesn't want to talk about stuff like that.
Well, I think we have to bring in a little bit of and I just don't want to target Christian. I think it's any type of religious type of dogma about it because, when the girls were young, I didn't really talk about it like I should. I mean, now we have open conversations and that type of thing. But I feel like I was just like, oh, sex, no, or this, I feel like that was also hanging over the whole conversation and the openness about it. And so I don't know if maybe that as well, because I know, Christian people or, religious people in the old days. And I mean, that too, there was a level of you just don't talk about it. But then when you bring in the religious aspect of it is like, that's a sin. This is a sin. This is.
Like, why is it a sin?
Well, that was because the original sin,
Right. Which
because of the original sin. And that's why childbirth hurt. That's why we bleed. And, it's so amazing that it's just like you can go back and look through what Christianity, Hinduism, every religion, and they have something like this, the same thing.
Yeah. That's where you're like punished for being who you are, and your body punished for what your body naturally does. But without your body naturally doing what it's doing, you wouldn't have everything that you have. Like, I didn't make the rules here. I'm just telling you, this is what the body does. The woman's body does. So why are you punishing women? I mean, if you just literally sit down and say this is logical for 5 seconds, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. No, it is.
Why?
It is. And that's how I always felt as a teenager. I was always like, why are we punished for what Eve did? And, once you step out of that whole BS, it's ridiculous. It is fucking ridiculous. And I really hope that there is a movement of enlightenment to step away from that. Just step back for a second, okay? Because it's actually hurting women's health right now. It's that. So yeah, I have really kind of been encouraged about the talk about HRT, about the talk about women openly and what's this doing, what is menopause. And I want to say what you were talking about, your mom and your aunt. Our mothers just don't talk about it. And then we have our generation is, wait, why aren't we talking about this? Yeah. And then we have the younger generation saying, wait, tell me everything. Yeah. What's going to happen? Yeah. I mean, that's what my daughters are doing. And that's encouraging. It is.
It is. Like, I love passing wisdom on to the younger generations. Like, hey, be prepared. Like, one of the things that I wish I had known was if I had known this ahead of time, I tell people, I said, even if you have to pay for it out of pocket once a year, starting at age 35, go get your blood drawn and have them run and see where your hormone levels are at. Because when you go into perimenopause, a lot of doctors will be like, and I've had several friends have this happen to them. Well, we can't really track that because your hormones are going to be up and down, up and down, up and down. So why would we even bother looking at that?
And we don't have a baseline.
Yeah, we don't have a baseline. And I'm thinking, are you fucking kidding me? Just another way for you guys not to care about us and our health. Fuck off. And so I literally tell my clients, I said, I don't care if you have to pay out of pocket. It's a couple $100 once a year until you hit perimenopause. And then it's really going to matter because then you will have a baseline. You will have something to go off of. And you can say, see, things are changing. I've noticed this, and this, and look at my hormones.
So yeah, girl, that is great advice. And I hope 100%. That our listeners really take that to heart. And because if there's anything that we want to tell the younger generation of women and even men who have women in their life, like we said at the beginning of the episode, this is something that you can be proactive about. Yep. And I will say through all of the shit and everything that I've been through the past 7 years dealing with, Lyme and menopause is that, and my grandmother actually told me this when she was going through figuring out if she had Parkinson's. She said, Anna, you are your best advocate for health.
Yes.
It's just you.
I love that.
And I understood what she was saying, okay, yeah, I get that. But no, when you're going through it and you get labeled a WW and you feel like you're not listening, you are your biggest advocate. So speak up. And if they don't like it, tough titties.
Exactly. Don't be afraid. This is one thing that middle age does. I love it. Like, you just stop giving a shit. I don't care if you think I'm a bitch. I don't care if you're going to call me a name. If I don't stand up for me and say, no, I think you need to listen to me. You need to listen to this. Sometimes I get a little salty and I'll be like, so I'm going to ask this question again and I would like a straight answer. And I'm like, because
don't talk around it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's going to be your health that suffers because we're scared of being called a bitch or being called a Karen or whatever name they can come up with. WW, fuck off. You're a dumb ass, a DA. Or maybe you're going to be, oh, wait. I was going to say a DAD, a dumbass dick, but that... But I don't want to. I don't want to bash that.
Don't discriminate.
I don't want to do that. But the point being is, like, you kind of have to just. I don't care. Fine, you're gonna think I'm a dick. Fine, but you know what? I'm still gonna ask these questions. I'm still going to press this topic with you because it's important to me, and I would like some real answers because I'm the one that has to live with it, and I'm just trying to make my life better because that will make the people around me their lives better. And then that, I mean, there is a serious ripple effect. And the more, I mean, and two, you kind of want to say to people, you can't take it personally when somebody is advocating with them for themselves. It's literally not about you. It is about them.
Wow.
It's about
100%. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, and you should be, supporting them. Like, yeah, hell yes, ask those questions. What else you got? Let me see what I can come up with because I don't know. You're here, I'm here, and we're both human, and I care. Yeah, well, that's novel. Like, let's not make it about ourselves when other people are advocating, or don't make it about you when I'm advocating for me.
I love it. Well, I know that we could dig into more about this. I really wanted to touch about the awareness that, Gen X men, I've seen clips about them and, having awareness now, talking about it with other guys, so
I love that.
I want to probably wrap up this episode for this topic though, for now.
I just have a couple other little things I want to say. Number one, we really talked about a lot of important things, really advocating for women and women's health. And it can come off really strong. We get, as Gen X women and the things that we have been through in our lives, we are protective. It's not defensiveness, it's protective. And it's something that you learned early on. You have to be protective. And it kind of goes in that same rhythm with being a self-advocator and having to live with the stigma of being called a name or names because you are not backing down. And this is inclusive. We do want everyone to have a voice. We do want everyone to understand and to care with compassion because, like I said, our lives as women ripple out to your lives as men and our children and so on. So everybody matters here. This is a conversation for everyone. One is the person that is living it and dealing with it, and the other is the supports in our lives. Everybody matters in this conversation.
I love that.
Thank you. I love it too. For it, man. I'm here for it.
That is a great way to close it. And I hope everybody picked something out of this that they can take with them and grow and share with others. And please leave any comments. Keep it respectful. Yes. But
and if there's a part 2 that you want to hear, let us know what that part 2 is. We'd totally be up for that.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.